What's up, everybody? It's your girl, J.NICHELLE, and you are now tapped into Flavor Fridays. Get into it.
Yeah. Oh, man, y'all. It is a good Friday. We got a guest in the building for y'all, so y'all already know how we coming. What up? It's your girl, J.NICHELLE, and you are now tapped into Flavor Friday. And, of course, I got a special guest in the building with me today. But before we get into today's guest, we got to pay the bills. Shout out to Mixdown Studios. Y'all know we up in Mixdown with it. Yep. Artists, if you need a place to record, holla at me. All right, I got the plug for you up in Mixdown Studios with my guy Young C and Mo Fats. I believe Young C charged a $50 an hour rate. Like, you really can't beat that. It's not anything crazy. You're going to get quality production, engineering, mix and mastering. So, hey, you can't beat it. Mixdown Studios, let's go, 316. All right, y'all. So, you know I have a special guest in the building with me. This guy, I have recently tapped in with him. And then when I did do my research and kind of look back on this artist, I'm like, damn, he been here doing this shit for over a decade long, you guys. And he has some numbers. He has music. He has content. And I'm really interested to get all up in his business. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we got one-on-one in the motherfucking building.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for coming.
No, thank you for having me.
Definitely. Thank you for hitting me up because you know what I always tell people, like artists be like, you ain't got me in an interview. I'm like, okay, well, you haven't like hit me.
Yeah.
Artists, hit me up. Y'all want to work? I'm down to work. Let's lock in.
You gotta get out there. That's just a simple possibility. I mean, you a busy person, so you know
Definitely.
I wouldn't expect you to just keep up with everything.
Yes.
You know what I mean, at all times. So sometimes it's got to be about reaching out.
That's it. And you know, I was open to the conversation. Yeah. I was open, and you're here.
Yeah.
And we're here today.
Well, you know, I heard so many good things about you.
Did you?
I was like, you know, one of my big partners, Laylo Holmes.
Hey.
He put me on you, and he was like, you know, she's doing good things. And I did a little research myself, and I just wanted to make sure, you know, everything was copacetic. And, you know, here we are. So that's all I'm about.
Man, that's love. Shout out Laylo Holmes. And I definitely, you know, my journey with how it's going right now, I'm just, you know, walking in my favor, walking in God's path. And, you know, I started podcasting. It wasn't just a hip-hop podcast. I wanted to shine light on so many other areas of Wichita, just the culture that we have here. And I'm a natural lover of music. And so, you know, I mean, hey, it's been working out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, the thing is like we have it's such a big place in such a small city. And,
yes.
You know, a lot of people sleep on that fact.
Yes.
But at the same time, you know, I've been everywhere, and a lot of people, you know, outside of the town are always like, man, what do I got to do to get into Wichita?
Yeah, it's a hard market.
Yes. You know, it's that little New York City mentality.
Yeah.
You know, if you make it here, you definitely gonna make it
anywhere. Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like the opposite. I always felt like, man, if you can't make it in Wichita, you really can't make it anywhere.
Yeah.
But I do also love that the black culture here is very small. Every other race beside white is like small. We're in Kansas, right? But it's strong, and we have a lot to offer. That's why I wanted to create a platform like this that can show the world, like, don't sleep on Wichita.
Right.
Don't sleep on us.
Absolutely.
So before we get too off topic, I really want to dive into who 101 is, right? And I know that's a lot. You can tell through your music. You can tell through the posts that you make on social media and the things that you kind of preach, that your story is full of all kinds of stuff. We'll be here all day, right?
Yeah, it's difficult. That's for sure. Yeah.
But really quick, I do want to go to what was life like growing up for 101?
Well, it was different. You know, I was always, it's hard to explain. I was always put in different cultures and neighborhoods that, you know, most people in my situation wouldn't be in.
Okay.
You know, all the rough neighborhoods in town, that's where I was from. You know, I was always all over the place, and times got pretty difficult at a certain time. I didn't never grow up with money. You know, I don't know what luxury is like. I don't even know what privilege is like. I get denied in the same path as everybody else. So, you know, I don't ever like to, color was never a big thing to me.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So you grew up with your parents just in the hood?
Yeah, it was. They did everything they could.
Definitely.
You know.
Are you an 80s baby?
I'm a 90s baby.
Okay, you 90s.
Early 90s, so I'm the original.
Okay,
You know
I
what
heard that.
I ain't no 96 and up, all right? 93 all day if anybody want to relate. But, so, I was there before technology hit, and I was there while technology hit, and then I was definitely here after it. So
Right.
Culture shocking was just always kind of a thing to me. It was always big, and, man, I don't know. It was just... It was a weird place to be in all the time.
Yeah.
Because I was never fully accepted in anything I ever went into, but at the same time, I was accepted by some of them peers. So it was difficult, and I never knew exactly what route to go as far as me as a person. I never found my personality. I never found who I was exactly until, just about recently when I accepted some of the facts that maybe being lost was just where I belonged, So,
okay.
There's a...
I want to ask you just real quick because I feel like it definitely could have been difficult. I'm hearing you say, like, maybe you were the minority in your peers and the people that are around you. Always. Okay, only white boy in the building.
90% of the time, always the white boy in the building.
Okay, so I'm sure that was challenging because I can only imagine, even you saying that though, I'm like, because I got it written down, I'm like, why would you go the hip hop route? Because, historically, hip hop is not like that accepting, like we got Eminem and, he opened up the doors for a lot of other white rappers as well, but I do still feel like white rappers have it harder. Like you gotta be like extraordinary.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You gotta have a lot of personality behind you. And Eminem was a huge influence back in the 90s, because he was that unaccepted person. So for me, it just felt like every time he was making a song, it was like, man, is he speaking for me? You know what I mean? So, but hip hop was always a big thing for me. I grew up a DJ. So when I did my first show when I was 8 years old at a little middle school. And it was different because I had to be accepting of all kinds of music. But I was the first in my generation to hear the rap, hear the hip hop. So when I did hear it, it was like, this is it.
This
is
dope.
Like I love it.
From jump.
I like all music, but I like pain behind the music. And hip hop and rap is like the only one that can really truly just take that pain and not cry about it all the time, but take it and make good creativity out of it. So that's where I fell in love with it.
And if anybody has listened to your music, they know that. That's one of the things I wrote down listening to your music is that you do make that pain music, but you also make that music talking about, coming out of that pain and what's on the other side of that pain. Is what I've noticed as of recently. Yeah.
There's two ways you can go about it. You can sit on pain and you can let it affect the rest of your life, or you can get open about it. Yeah. And let that pain lead you to a different way. I always thank God every day that he gave it to me.
Yeah,
of course, pain. Yeah, of course. Of course, at times I was wondering why, how, like, what do I gotta do? But after a while, I just accepted that. You know what? This is what he wanted.
This made you who you are today.
Yes, absolutely. And so, when I do talk about it in my music, it's not a glorification of it. Like I don't want to sit on it, but I want other people to hear it and go, there is a way out.
I can relate.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah.
I'm currently there.
Exactly.
I love that. Okay, so my next question was, how'd you get introduced to hip hop? And I know that now, like, you kind of heard it. You've been DJing since you was 8 years old, which is bananas. But who are some of your musical influences? Who are some of the people that you listened to growing up, or even currently, that you're just like, that's who helped me fall in love with the sound?
Nas.
Whoa, big Nas. Let me clap it up. I love me some Nas, man.
What's up, everybody?
Look, I'm pressing the wrong button. Damn it. Love me some Nas. Okay, so Nas, that was unexpected.
Nas, I fell in love with Illmatic.
Yes.
That was it. It was the fact that he could take lyrics and, you know, I love Pac, you know, but it wasn't like most of the pain that he was writing about that I could just relate to.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was still good to me. But the way Nas was just kind of introducing it lyrically, that was where it was for me.
Yeah.
And of course, when the Eminem show dropped, I wasn't a huge Eminem fan up until the Eminem show.
Okay.
And so in that 01 release that he did, it was like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Like
I think the world fell in love with him by that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And there was an element of struggle behind every song, but there was also an element of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I love to do this, and this is what I'm gonna make my sound.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna let the world accept it or not. And
Yeah.
the world, you know, through luck and talent, of course, they accepted it.
Yeah.
And then I would say after that, Tech Nine was a huge influence for me.
Yeah. Kansas City, what up?
Yeah.
Tech Nine.
It was his difference, you
Okay.
know, the way that he could, not only his chopper flow, but just the way that he lyrically just engineered everything so perfectly and diverse.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing that I definitely put myself onto was you have to be different.
Yes.
You can put elements of what people like into it, but if they're not hearing something different, then they're just hearing the same person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, recently though, I tap in with everything hip hop, like every artist. People that I didn't think
Because it's changed a lot since the artist you named.
Yeah, a lot.
Yes.
You know, but before it was like there was only 20 artists that you could listen to.
Facts.
Now,
Facts.
you could be the local artist that everyone is listening to.
Facts.
I don't think anybody was really tapped in with that Mexican OT
Yeah.
up until his recent release with Paul Wall. And, you know, it was like now the world, now he's blowing up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so you got to take into acceptance, like, he was just living in his town making music.
Making music.
And do you think he knew that people in Canada was listening to him? You know, Cali, New York, all that stuff, and now he's there.
Yeah.
So don't ever sleep on yourself.
Facts.
And always take advice from people. Always take hints and tips, and don't take them with a grain of salt.
Facts.
You know, like you got to take everybody's word in for it. That was one thing I struggled with when I first
Taking
started.
feedback?
Yes.
Okay.
And it wasn't that I had a hard time accepting it, is that I knew they were right.
Oh.
And so I didn't want them to be right.
Yeah.
You know, my lyrics weren't.
Well, what kind of things was they saying then? Because it was like,
I wasn't making music that you could just bump in your car.
Okay.
You know, and the way I was doing my lyrics, it was, you had to keep up.
Okay.
And in a time where it wasn't about keeping up with super lyricism and stuff like that, it was just, I wanted to be so different, but I was almost too different.
Okay.
You know, and so I wanted people to tap in, but people weren't connecting with it until I got that element of, okay, do what you love to do, but also give the people what they want to hear at the same time.
I love that because, you know, as somebody that has created something from the ground up myself, I know that I've told people my vision and some people laughed. Some people thought it was ridiculous. It was impossible. It was never going to happen. And now those same people come back like, damn, you know, you doing the thing. Like, I see you elevating. I see you growing. And it's like, sometimes you can't always listen to what other people got to say. Not everybody's going to see your vision. Not everybody's going to recognize that. But at the same time, it is okay to take those constructive, like, criticism and those feedback on how you can elevate, how you can grow, how you can maybe tweak these little things here and there to further your reach and get your message across.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Because if you get it just so easy, you will take it for granted.
Yeah.
You know, and then eventually it will fall off. You know, it's that scraping and grinding that's going to create the hard exterior to keep you going for the next 20, 30 years.
I love that.
So
I love that. All right, y'all. Well, we about to get into a little bit of music, but when we come back from the music, I have got to talk to you about this because I seen this, and I'm going to tell you, I was asleep on it, but I watched it all yesterday, and I was cracking the fuck up, okay?
what was it?
we gonna get into the battle between you and Kush Powers. Okay, I know it was a long time ago, but I don't know how I missed it, so I gotta talk to you about it while we're here. So real quick, you guys, we're gonna get into one of your songs right now. This is off of the new album Nomad. This is I wonder if you want to introduce it. It's gonna be going in, but I want you to introduce it.
Okay, well, this is Going In by myself. This was the first thing that I recorded off the new album. It hits hard, it goes hard, and I hope you like it.
Hey, Cello, this shit crazy. Hey, run that shit up, Chase.
And I ain't been sleeping, hoes and battling demons. Circle the block with a reason. And I'm going in, gotta go get it and win. I'm making this head wanna spin. Boy, you been tweaking, thinking the normal is treason. Making it never receive. And I make you motherfuckers wanna give up. And I'ma go say it again. And I ain't been sleeping, hoes and battling demons. Circle the block with a reason. And I'm going in, gotta go get it and win. I'm making this head wanna spin. Boy, you been tweaking, thinking the normal is treason. Making it never receive. And I make you motherfuckers wanna give up. And I'ma go say it again. Boy, I'm back in the booth, steady been stacking the loot. Boy, you been acting a goof. Don't ever be think I'll be caught up and slipping and watching them act like a fool. Back up and shoot, tap on the boot, dragging the proof. Now he's in cahoots. While you all fade out, last thing you gon' see is me treated like magic and poof. And I'm gonna beat it up, make it hurt like. Haven't talking about show right. I ain't locked up, but I serve life. Got a lot of pressure, I go fight. I've been in and out of that mud, baby, so I ain't got a problem trying to roll dice. Acting like it's my birthright. Got them all quiet like church mice in the bank, making them think. Always be pulling up, making this thing. Whenever she come around, and she gon' fade. Cause I be going so hard in the pain. Ain't no saint, ain't no debate. But I gotta go and get a little weight. And if you think you could never relate, you would see I be molded by mud and some hate. And I ain't been sleeping, hoes and battling demons. Circle the block with a reason. And I'm going in, gotta go get it and win. I'm making this head wanna spin. Boy, you been tweaking, thinking the normal is treason. Making it never receive. And I make you motherfuckers wanna give up. And I'ma go say it again. And I ain't been sleeping, hoes and battling demons. Circle the block with a reason. And I'm going in, gotta go get it and win. I'm making this head wanna spin. Boy, you been tweaking, thinking the normal is treason. Making it never receive. And I make you motherfuckers wanna give up. And I'ma go say it again. Hot body gang, they be guzzling us. Boy, I be up in the guts. Got enough motherfucker wanna get it up. As you making them juggle these nuts. Fuck it, I'll bust. Make them say what in the fuck. Boy, you be bugging and stuck. Remember when I was just stuck in the mud? And all I could do was to knuckle it up. And it's so concerning how they be lurking. I know for certain I'm calling out curtains. Beating the beat up like it was a virgin. I'm finna give you a better new version. I'm putting that work in. I don't need to put a motherfucking word in. All I gotta do is go and get it done. At the end, I stick a fucking fork in. You ain't never met a motherfucker ever try and fuck it up quite like me. I'm cold as fuck and I'm finna stay in your psyche. Won't come close, but they might be. Never know more than likely. I'll drop a homie like fucking chains with a bunch of stains on my white tee. Like, wow. And I ain't been sleeping, hoes and battling demons. Circle the block with a reason. And I'm going in, gotta go get it and win. I'm making this head wanna spin. Boy, you been tweaking, thinking the normal is treason. Making it never receive. And I make you motherfuckers wanna give up. And I'ma go say it again. And I ain't been sleeping, hoes and battling demons. Circle the block with a reason. And I'm going in, gotta go get it and win. I'm making this head wanna spin. Boy, you been tweaking, thinking the normal is treason. Making it never receive. And I make you motherfuckers wanna give up. And I'ma go say it again.
right. What's up, y'all? We are back. And y'all know what it is. It's your girl, J.NICHELLE. And I am joined with my special guest today, Mr. 101.
Yes, sir. Here he is.
So before the break, I talked about the battles. Okay, so first of all, this was going to be my favorite segment today because I was like, I love the old school battles, and I've been talking to Young C and Mo Fat. None of y'all go steal my idea, okay? Because I'm going to bring it back. Because we tried to do it. Prolific Promotions tried to do it, bring the battles back. The battle with Hondro and Dre P was fucking phenomenal. I loved it. It was a great time. It was really good music. But it was not the traditional, like, bar for bar type of, like, battle. It was like song for song. Right. So I want that traditional battlefield, but you and Kush Powers, man, y'all go check it out. It is on 101's YouTube page, so I'm going to drop that below. Y'all go check that out. Y'all got some numbers. People was tapped in. People was fucking with it.
We packed the club.
Yeah, y'all packed the club.
In fact, the club had a patio outside. We had to, when the battle was going on, before it started, we had to hook monitors up outside so that people outside could hear.
Whoa!
Yeah. It was a big event.
So I gotta ask real quick, like, okay, so who called who out? Like, how did it even start?
Okay, so I think it was an artist named Keezy.
Okay.
And I think he put a status out or something. Just a status.
Yeah.
I wonder who went out of a battle, 101 or Kush Powers. And I didn't think anything of it, you know, because I'm not a battle rapper. You know, I appreciate the art of the battle rap.
Did you know him before somebody had even?
Kush?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, being tapped into every single show and stuff like that, you end up meeting everybody.
Right.
But, you know, I liked his stuff. He had a good element behind his music. You know, he had a bop to it, you know. So it was a little different, you know.
Okay.
And so I appreciated that, especially because, you know, there's only 3 white boys in the town ever doing it at a time. So you got to show you got to show a little bit of love behind it. But
I love that.
Keezy, he put that status out, and I didn't think anything of it. Of course, Kush hopped on it, and he was like, you know, I'll murder him.
I love that.
And then probably later on that day, I go back to the status because my feed is blowing up.
Yeah.
And I'm noticing like thousands of likes on the status. People tapped into it that I didn't even think. Like veteran battle rappers from here were tapped into the status and was like, oh, I think Kush, you know. Even some of my people hopped on there. Oh, yeah, Kush. But I think that was because they knew I wasn't a battle rapper. And they knew that he had that kind of battle rap you know, stigma to him.
Okay.
You know, like he could do that because he had a funny element to some of his stuff. So I hopped on there eventually, and I was like, well, you know, let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Whatever. I think that's what they were waiting for.
For you to
respond. What was I going to respond
Welcome the
with?
battle.
Right.
Yeah.
So I kind of left it at that. And Keezy ended up calling me and was like, you know, let's make it an event. We got too many people hopping on this. They want to see it, so we might as well do it.
Might as well.
So it took about 2 months before we could really get things into play, and a month after that before we actually had the event. So for 3 months, it was nothing but Kush hopping on and saying the most dirtiest things about me. I was in my room hot. I mean, hot. It was terrible. And I couldn't come out and say nothing about it because I didn't want people to think he was getting to me, but he was.
But he was.
I'm too hood. You know what I mean? So I was like, do I need to pull up or do something like just to let people know you can't just say these things about me? And so we made it happen. More and more people started hopping on and saying more things, and when I tell you that everybody, even people in my camp, were like, yo, I think Kush is gonna get you.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so I did not know how to battle rap. I'm talking about I tapped into URL for weeks, sitting there going like, what are these guys doing? How are they doing it? And I'm down in myself because I'm like, dude, I'm about to go out and make myself look like a fool. So I I would say a dark place.
I am shocked to hear this right now. I love it, but I'm like, what?
I went to a dark place. I'm talking about Eminem burrowing yourself into a dark corner, writing, and I must have put 16 verses together.
Yeah.
Verses, like pages and pages of things, and I didn't know what I was going to say, how I was going to say it. I did not know that much about Kush, so I was worried. I had a partner helping me out at the time where he was just my ear.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, here, let me spit this to you, see what you think. And every time it was no reaction. So I was like,
fuck, this is not it.
Yeah, this is terrible. I'm already in, so I have to at best go out and make myself look like a clown. You know what I mean? Because I can't just quit the week before the battle. But I was so
This
worried.
is a week before the battle. You're still like, fuck.
Yeah.
Wow.
The third round I wrote 2 days before the battle.
That's crazy.
So I was like, it was a weird place and a dark place. And so getting there to the battle, showing up and seeing all of these people, and hearing everybody in my head going like, yo, I think my Kush might get you. You know, I was like, I think he might. You know?
I think you're right.
I think he
might.
Put
your money on him.
Yeah.
But let's go to Applebee's.
you know, we got paid for the event.
I love that. As you should.
Yeah,
with all the hype around it and things like that. Absolutely.
Keezy paid us ahead of time. You know, I think that was just like a please be there, you know, type of thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, I'm there. I had a sponsor at the time. I was like, look, I'll wear your merch. You know, you pay me for that. I got paid for that. And so we get to the battle, and I don't know if you can like see it on stage, but he did the first round. He
did the first round.
And he did a great job.
He did. That's why I was like, listen, y'all gotta go watch this battle, because I was shocked. I watched the video leading up to the battle between
the
you and
interviews.
him, the interview.
Yeah.
And y'all both had me fucking dead. I was cracking up like, these motherfuckers about to go at it. I love it. And then you listen to the first verse, and I'm like, ooh, okay, Kush.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me tell you that when I heard it, thank God the camera didn't pan to me. Because I wasn't reacting so no one could see it, you know what I mean? But in my mind, my heart was in the bottom of my stomach. I was like, damn, this is it. This is it. So when I get into those moments, actually what I've learned is those are my best moments.
Absolutely.
Because
sink or swim. What you gonna do?
I was backed into a corner.
Yes.
And I was about to get jumped, and all I knew was swing.
Yeah, that's
swing
it.
as hard as you could and as best as you could, because even if you go down, at least you went down with a fight.
Yes.
So I remember like getting up there, and even if you watch the interviews, you can see like I'm smoking a J because I was nervous about the interview. And if you look in the interviews, you can see like I'm shaking holding the J, because I'm like, man, I don't even believe half of the shit talk that I'm saying.
Man, you sold it though. I was convinced that you was like, I ain't worried about this motherfucker. Like, I'm about to whoop his ass.
I had to go in with that, because we did an original take, and I was like, I wasn't saying anything bad.
Yeah.
And the director was like, yo,
he talking shit.
Yeah, like
he coming with it.
He wouldn't show me what he was saying, but he said a couple things, and I was like, oh, okay. I was like, let's redo this whole thing, and you know,
because if they were Kush, I was shocked at, because he is like a quirky kind of hyper type of dude.
Yeah.
But I was shocked at the shit he was saying. I was like, oh, he coming for your throat.
Yeah.
Like, he is not holding back.
Yeah. And most of the jokes were funny because they were true. Like when he talked about me starting lawnmowers and stuff like that. I was a landscaper at the time, so
How
I was
did
like,
he know this shit?
I don't know, man. Like, I blame the people in my camp. I think they was talking.
You had a leak in the camp for sure.
But I ain't mad at him. You know what I mean? When you go into a battle like that, you gotta have some elements. So anyways, first round, I'm tearing myself up on the inside, but all I knew was start swinging. So I remember before the battle, they wanted us to mic up. Like we had mics on us.
Yeah.
I took mine off. Like I didn't need it. I mean, if you hear me right now, it's probably the levels are too loud right now. Probably.
No, you good.
You got 'em
'Cause
good?
I'm a
You got 'em
loud
good?
person.
Okay,
Yes.
well-
you gotta match my energy.
I can be loud too. Growing up a DJ, you had to be loud.
Yeah.
So I went in, and when I went in for that first round, I felt it. I felt like this beast coming out, and I was like, and the way I deliver it wasn't even the way I delivered it when I was at the house.
Yeah.
It was totally different, and it was like I saw myself like, what are you gonna do? And I saw myself from the outside in, and I just remember like tear him up. And, and I feel like I did the first round, but I felt like it was a pretty even.
It was pretty. It was like, ooh, y'all both came out, swinging,
Yes.
no knockouts.
Yes. And I don't know if he might murder me for this, but he admitted that he wasn't expecting that,
Okay.
and no one was. If you see on the stage, all the people in my camp are like, "Whoa!" Like it wasn't supposed to go this way.
Yeah.
Nick was supposed to lose.
Be a knockout.
Yeah. So when I got done with my first round, I remember just walking off like I just socked him in the face. And
Yeah.
I just backed up real easy, and I grabbed my drink. I was so cottonmouth. And the bar owner gave me some Jameson. I don't know why. So now I got whiskey cottonmouth. And
that's the worst.
He admitted this afterwards, but he forgot his second 2 rounds after that.
I would say he came so much. I was like, you really stumbled him because he came so different the second round than he did the first round. And I was like, okay, it was still good, but it wasn't even with the same confidence as he came with on the first round.
And that's what I intended.
Yeah.
Is you're never going to expect something out of me, but the second I hit you with it, I want you knocked back and winded.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
So when that happened and I heard that he was stumbling on that second one, I was like, all right. I knew I had it, but I still had to go in with the confidence that I didn't have it.
Yeah.
So that way I could keep that fire. So the second round was my favorite.
Yeah.
Because that was when I had most of the punches and stuff like that. And, oh, man, just the triumph behind me when I knew that I got the second round, I was like, okay. But I still wasn't fully confident because the first round, I felt like it was a tie.
Yeah.
So even if I did get the second round, I still got to go for this third one as hard as I went.
Yeah.
Once I saw I didn't want to pay attention. Thank God for my people.
Hey,
you know what I mean? Like everybody there essentially had my back right after that second round. So I felt like finally okay, I don't have to be as nervous because I got my people behind me.
Yeah.
And even in the crowd, I felt his people shaking a little bit. You know what I mean? So I knew I had it. But I still had to go as hard. We finished off that third round. The judges were back there talking for about 3.5 seconds. I was like, they're talking too much.
He said, maybe I didn't do it.
Yeah, maybe I didn't do what I think I did, But I knew with the crowd reaction, how I was just hitting them, I was like, at least let me win 1 or 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Man, they announced that I won. And, not only was it a big triumph, but it was a huge moment for me as a person. And a lot of people don't know that. I don't admit this very often, but, I got to do it on the podcast.
Got to. We on Flavor. Come with it.
But I teared up at the end when I got off the stage because I was like, this is a moment that just defined me as a person because I always go into moments where I'm shaky and I stay shaky.
Yeah. And
then I always lose. So the fact that I just went in and decided to swing let me know I can do this.
Ooh.
I can do anything that gives me a little bit of adversity, and I can accomplish whatever. Every single person did not believe in me before that, and then after that,
everybody was like, "I knew you had it." Everybody was jumping on the bandwagon.
And you know what? It wasn't even that. They were just all proud of me.
I love that.
And
I love that for you.
I didn't have a good parental system growing up, So hearing those words, proud and stuff like that, just people giving me hugs and just people tapping in, it was a huge moment for me. I'm getting emotional about it right now. But
I love that for you.
It's one of those things that I explain to people, do what makes you feel uncomfortable.
Ooh, facts.
At all times. And if it's uncomfortable, then you're gonna get so used to it afterwards that nothing can stop you.
Yeah.
You fly off the edge of the building. You're good. You're gonna fly.
Don't
actually
listen
do
to
it.
him.
Yeah, don't actually do
We're
it.
gonna have people like,
This is a
well,
metaphor.
one said I could fly if I want to. Shit.
Oh man. but yeah, it was a huge moment for me, and afterwards, this nobody knows about this, so I'm gonna just put you guys on a little bit of story. So we had an after party at my house. Everything was jumping. Everybody was so happy, and I had to take a moment with me and my two close partners. We went outside, smoked a little cigarette, and we're just chilling. We're breathing it in.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm just like looking up. I'm thinking, God, like it was a big moment. And we looked to our left, and it was a wolf.
Whoa. Non-tail fox.
I lived on like Kellogg and Oliver. Like,
Okay, so what's a wolf doing over here? Kellogg and Oliver?
exactly.
Yeah.
It was all white. So I'm sitting there like,
It was a dog. Y'all was high.
no, it
Y'all
was a wolf.
smoking.
I promise you, because
What was y'all
we
smoking?
was hot, but look, I had to look at my guys and go. I had to go. Y'all see that fucking wolf right there? And they didn't see it at first, and then they saw it, and we're all staring at it, all three of us. And then the wolf, you know, we lived in like a project style apartments, so the wolf banged down one of the alleys. We didn't have to say nothing. We looked at each other and we chased it. We went.
Y'all chasing wolves.
Look, I wanted to make sure it was real. Like, we was high, so I had to do triple takes just to make sure. And we looked down the alleyway. I mean, it wasn't too long before the thing went down, that thing. So we went down and it was gone.
Do you think that was some type of spiritual, like...
Yeah.
Okay, I love that because I'm a very spiritual person.
I just don't know too many Indians that I could ask that question to.
Yeah,
I can Google all day, but that ain't gonna give me the right
white wolf,
information.
though, you gotta do some research, man. You gotta dig into why the white wolf came at you at that pivotal moment in your life.
Yeah.
Because that is a big moment when you kind of realize, like, I can do something that, you know, I love, and I don't really, because at the end of the day, you can't rely on anybody but yourself. When you were in that moment, you felt alone. You were in that corner, and you was like, I don't have nobody else to rely on. Either I'm going to swing or, you know, I'm going to sink or I'm going to swim. Yeah. And you swam in that moment, and that is a huge, like, I know that feeling. I can relate to that feeling. So kudos for you, man. We got to clap it up for you, man. That's major. All right, one-on-one, you a pretty cool motherfucking guy.
Appreciate you.
I can talk to you all day, but... We got to get into a little bit of music, and when we come back, you guys, we're going to talk more about the album Nomad.
Yeah. It's time to keep this shit pushing forward, baby. Yeah. Ain't none of that reverse shit, you know what I mean? All these flashing lights, none of it felt the same in the afterlife. Even after all the attention, the parties and new women, I was still looking for somebody to pass a mic. But if I act too nice to ask you twice, I might have lost my sense of balance and I'd have to fight. But I gotta grasp my life and pass the light. But still I'm looking for somebody to pass the mic. But now I'm crying and trying to get it together. Man, I gotta get quiet and silent, and I lost the love of my life. And I'll try and keep smiling. I'll tell you I've been okay, but you know I've been lying. I gotta match the pain and scratch the shame, but half my brain is trying to go back to sane. And I got these tracks to bang, I'm last in lane, but you can't even tell what it's like in these shackled chains.
Down bad, I was trying to get my head right. Standing tall, I'ma always get my bread right. Praying to the Lord, I'm hoping he gon' shed light. Moving forward, never backward like some headlights. Down bad, I was trying to get my head right. Standing tall, I'ma always get my bread right. Praying to the Lord, I'm hoping he gon' shed light. Moving forward, never backward like some headlights.
Cruising at 35, bumping some ride wave. Breathing heavy, exhausted from having a long day. Try to be the best of me, but they see it the wrong way. I can't find the words when I talk, but hopefully a song may. I gotta get out my head, get this hard for sale. Try to smile through this pain, but it gets hard to tell. I told you I was okay, but you knew me far too well. Cause you knew I was full of shit, cause I be crawled through hell. Cause I'm like a poster child of somebody supposed to smile, but I'm still feeling like a lost soul that's close to trial. I'm so fucking hurt and they thinking it's funny. I was traded off for somebody that's just thinking of me.
Down bad, I was trying to get my head right. Standing tall, I'ma always get my bread right. Praying to the Lord, I'm hoping he gon' shed light. Moving forward, never backward like some headlights. Down bad, I was trying to get my head right. Standing tall, I'ma always get my bread right. Praying to the Lord, I'm hoping he gon' shed light. Moving forward, never backward like some headlights.
What up, y'all? Y'all know what it is. It's your girl, J.NICHELLE, and we are back 101 in the motherfucking building.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, Nomad, we've heard 2 songs off the album right now, but I really want to kind of dive into the full process of making this album because it has been a minute since you released music. This is kind of like that comeback, if you will.
Yes.
You know, that album let everybody know you're back. Why now?
Well, I kind of went into the dark for like 3-4 years, and that's how long I've been working on the album. I didn't want to put out music anymore. It just felt like something that was kind of holding me back in my journey of life, and worrying about numbers and worrying about what people think of me, and stuff like that. It was like I had to take time off. My brother Jacob Mueller, he actually recorded 3 of the songs off the album, Nomad, Element, and Save Me featuring Sir Charles. Those were the last 3 songs that I recorded with him. He passed away. It was a big hit to me, and quality-wise, opportunity-wise, he was the first person that ever gave me a shot without overcharging me, or it was deep and it was tough. But when he died, it was like I didn't know if I could just keep doing the music like that, not without him, not without him helping me.
Which part of the process of the music? I know you got the songs in with him, but like, where were you at in that process when he passed away? And I'm sure that obviously it was sudden and unexpected.
I actually had 2 EPs completely recorded that I was about to release.
Okay.
And when he passed, it was like really hard listening to any of those songs because he engineered them. And anybody who remembers Mixed Masters Entertainment was like, he was the sound guy. And actually, he taught Humble Greatness a lot of what he knows, and a couple other engineers around town. But he had that professionally, like that's what he focused on. And as I'm recording these songs, he's like, hey, let's throw this in there, let's do that. He was my Dre, Okay. He was like, this is what you got to do right here, do this right here, and it added that spark that I needed to make my songs pop. Bridges and choruses and stuff like that, because I was terrible at writing choruses.
Yeah.
And so when he passed, it was a little tough. Aside from personal things that were going on, I had to just take a step back. And eventually, after like 2 years, not even writing a song, I was like, my current wife at the time, God bless her, she's just the greatest thing that ever happened to me. She heard me listening to like instrumentals, and I was like writing on some things. She was like, why don't you just go back and do it? Just do it.
She could see the past. She could see the therapy probably that it would
absolutely
be for you.
She knew that there was something missing in my life.
Yeah.
And I always call music the love of my life. And so that's why in the song Headlights, I say that I lost the love of my life, because I did. Like it was everything to me. When you don't have support systems or family or everybody stops calling your phone, it's like you go into this place of like, who am I? What am I doing? You know? And we sat down and she was listening to some of my old music. And she was like, you need to do it again. You have to. Like, she was like, I'm gonna hold everything down. I got the kids. I got the house. You know, we got everything. Just go and do it. And as I'm doing it, I'm telling myself, like, I'm back into a corner again. Swing. Swing as hard as I can. And if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And I owe it not only to myself, but I owe it to my kids. I owe it to Jacob. You know, I know he's up there. I know he's up there engineering my music right now.
R.I.P. Yes. With some great company.
Yeah. And he's probably engineering God's next album, honestly. But the process of it was difficult. I had to find producers. I had to restart my entire journey on all the connections that I made. And I just told myself, like, I always relied on other people. And now I want to do this the way I need to do it, the way that I'm supposed to do it. And I'm going to put my element of me in there, but I'm going to also give the people what they want as well. And so at the time, I was like really wanting to make some thump music, something that was going to bang your trunk out. Because I didn't want to just be known as a lyricist. I wanted to make good music as well. And I was like, I was stuck into a spot, and then Young Dolph died.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wouldn't say he was a huge influence to me, but I liked his music.
Yeah.
And I was like, let me look up his producers. And so I Googled his producers, I messaged them all, and one of them hit me back.
Wow.
And was like, I got some tracks.
Wow.
Like, these are tracks that ain't everybody hopping on, stuff like that. Buy the simple leases to it. Do what you want to do. So he sent me 6 of them. And I like altogether I got 10. But he sent me 6, and I was like, yeah, this is it. It all came so naturally. And from the choruses to how I spit it, I wanted to spit them all with different elements. You'll never hear one of the same flows on this album.
Facts.
So once I did that, I was like, okay, so I got something here, but I still want to give them me. So I put the 3 songs that I sifted through, and I found the 3 perfect ones that I think me and Jacob mastered perfectly. Put those on there. Cobra was the other producer that hopped on it, and he's sick.
Yeah. Is he,
so dope.
Where's Cobra? I'm not familiar with Cobra.
Well, I found him on the internet. I guess I haven't done enough research on him to know where he's from or anything like that, but he's dope. He makes like good, like I would say like kind of Post Maloney kind of maybe like he makes pop.
Okay.
And so I was like, what do you got that like I could talk on? I want to rap, but I don't want to like rap. You know,
Yeah.
like, I want to talk. Like Mozzie was a huge influence to me at the time, and I liked what he was talking about, so I kind of wanted to go that route.
Shout out Mozzie.
Yeah, and eventually I got about 16 songs put together, and another 30 written.
Wow.
So I was like, let's just stop right here. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I don't want to add too much to it. So with the album, you're gonna hear my journey in the album. If you play it back to back on YouTube, it's split up. It's in not in numerical order. Mm-hmm. But when it comes out on Spotify and Apple Music, you're gonna hear the journey.
Okay.
You're gonna hear my pain at the beginning. You're gonna hear my triumph in the middle, and then at the end of it, you're gonna hear me swing.
Yeah.
And just hit as hard as humanly possible. Some of the songs I had written for years, I had in notebooks, and I was like, this song is way too good.
Yeah.
I got to put it on something. And once it all came together,
perfect timing.
And I had to do everything. Every bit of the album I had a piece into. I didn't just throw my songs at an engineer and say, okay, do what you got to do.
Fix it, yeah.
shout out to Humble Greatness.
Shout out Angelo, Humble Greatness. That's my guy.
He was the other guy that kind of took me in without any second chances. My brother kind of always put out there, like, if anything was to ever happen to me, go to Humble Greatness.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
So once I got with Humble Greatness and I recorded the first song, I was like, well, we got it. We got it. I had all the experience of knowing how to record, and I was like, this is going to be it. And so I just kept coming to him every couple of weeks and just like, okay, we got something else to record. I didn't want to put a time frame on it. I didn't want to say, like, in 6 months I'm dropping this album, because then I think it would have took away from the creativity of it.
I love that. That's different.
So
you don't have that time restraint and that pressure kind of clouding your creative flow.
Right.
Yeah, I love that.
I would have definitely put a couple flops on there.
Yeah.
But I took my time with it. I mean, listening to all the songs back to back so that I could get a good mind frame of where I wanted to take the track order, stuff like that. Like, and then it came to the promotion and marketing of it. I had a hand in everything. Every video that you see that came from it so far, I'm right at the director's editing chair, like, yeah, I like that, but let's add this.
Yes.
I like that, but let's add this. Even Angelo, and he's great. I love him to death, and he loves the fact that I will be in there and I'll be like, okay, even if it's something as small as, let's turn this down just a little bit. And he'll be like, do you like that? I was like, that's way better. He was like, man, let's turn down one tweak. You know, I was like, but I can hear it. You know, so once it all came together, I had to get the marketing and promotion all the way together. And I used to rely on people to do all of this for me, and it never worked out. People never wanted to go. Nobody's gonna want to go full in on something that's not them.
Facts.
You know, so if I tell anybody anything, it's this: focus on what you got to do and do everything. It's hard. It sucks being an independent artist. It sucks. It sucks not having a team behind you. It sucks not having a group of people that you can go, hey, listen to this song. Tell me what you think.
Yeah.
But through that, you can scrape and claw your way to greatness. And once I got it all the way together, I had my wife listen to it, and I mean, she was like, "This is it. This is it. This is gonna be a great comeback." Because just like that battle, ain't nobody expecting what's on this album. Ain't nobody expecting this sound, nothing to come out of me this way. The choruses that I wrote for it, and now I was gonna release it on the 20th of October.
Okay.
But for some reason, a couple weeks ago, I was like, "We're releasing it. We're putting it out."
Okay.
I'm already into the next album.
Yeah.
So why not?
Why
You
not?
know, let's just
get it out there. Get it. Why hold it? Get it
Yeah.
out there to the people.
Yeah.
We've been waiting long enough. Damn it.
And I mean, I have been getting some sick reviews, and it's great to finally have. It sucks when you play your music online and you don't hear no feedback, because that just lets you know, like,
They don't even give a fuck. They don't. Yeah.
And I don't message people and say, hey, comment on this, give me some good reviews so other people can see it. I let it all flow naturally.
Well,
like,
yeah,
do what you
organically.
want to do,
Yeah.
you know? But they're messaging me back to back. I got people from multiple states that I probably would have never even been introduced to. Like, they're finally listening to it. And I think that was one of my big elements that I messed up on in the beginning of my career, was I always wanted a certain type of individual to listen to my music.
Okay.
And really, you just want to get it out there so that the people can accept it. Your fan base is going to grow with you.
Yeah, and it's about finding your people. Like the people that can relate to you, the people that, you know, feel your music. That's who really you're creating it for, no matter who. And I love that this album is kind of like that comeback album. But I love that you've told me in our messages that this is some of your best work to date.
Yeah.
And that speaks volumes, because you do have a pretty large body of work when I've looked back at your music to say this is the best. I just want to ask you really quickly, what is your favorite song on the album, if you have one? Because I know you took so much time picking what was going to be and what was going to make the cut and what, you were maybe going to put back for later. But what's your favorite song on the album?
I kind of knew you were going to ask that.
Oh, you did?
I had a feeling. I was like, oh, man, now I got to go through the whole catalog again and listen to it. But I'm going to give you two.
Okay, I'll take two and none. Because some people I don't have one. I'll take two.
Okay, so the first one is 101%.
Okay.
That was my putting everything out on the table. And I love to perform. So I can't wait to perform that song and tear everybody up in the crowd with it. It's an unexpected song. People ain't expecting me to go that route with the beat. And so I feel like in my eyes, I tore that up. And the second one is Socially Awkward.
Okay.
And these are the last two songs on the album. So let it build up. But if you want to jump to them, that's fine.
There ain't no fun. Let it build up.
Yeah.
You don't want to get right to it.
Yeah, I mean, we all work all day with headphones in our head.
Come on
you know
now,
what I mean?
let it build up.
Yeah, play the songs.
Is it 12 songs on the album?
It's 12, but when it gets released on Apple Music and Spotify, there's going to be two bonus songs on there.
Two bonus songs. Okay.
And one of them I really wanted to talk about. It's called The Love of My Life.
Because you can see, let me tell you one more thing. One thing I noticed, just looking back maybe 2017, 2018, to now, you are super duper in love. You seem to be a really active, involved father, and I love that.
Thank you.
You call your son Buddy? Because on all the videos, you're like, Buddy, Buddy, Buddy. I was like, is that his nickname?
Yeah, it's just a nickname.
I love that, though.
He Stinky.
Right.
Yeah, he stinks. You know what I mean?
I call my daughter Stinkabug. She's going on 16. She's like, Mom, we got to switch it up.
Yeah.
That's not going to work.
The fatherhood journey is my best. I've always wanted to be a father. I have 3 baby mamas and 3 kids.
Okay.
The last baby mama I'm in love with, though.
He said the last one
we making it. You know what I mean?
love that. And she's beautiful.
Thank
she's
you.
Gorgeous. Hi.
That is what one of my favoritely written songs on there. It's a bonus because she owns the rights to it.
Oh, I love that.
I gave it to her as a Valentine's gift 2 years into dating, and she's a rock. She's what's holding me down and what keeps me going. I always come to her with advice, and I mean, she is pretty. So
she's beautiful.
That.
And it sounds like she
going.
supports you, and
Hardcore.
which is major for
Hardcore.
people like us that are getting it out the mud, chasing our dreams, our passion, that are creators. Mm-hmm. We need somebody that supports that, because not everybody understands that you may not see any fruit from this labor for quite some time.
Yeah.
You got to put in the work first,
and it's a team. It's a team. We know how to team work so hard. It was rough the first year because I'm meeting somebody that doesn't have kids.
Yeah.
And I'm jumping in with kids.
Yeah.
And but she embraced my kids, and they embraced her really quick and really easy. And she's a great mother. We just had a child about a year or so ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And everything's falling into place
like it's supposed to.
Yeah. God is really blessing me. I always send my praises to him. I don't let everybody know all the time, because I don't need everyone to know my relationship with God.
That's between you and him.
It's a good one, and
yeah.
he's blessing me hard, and I look to him when I put this album out, and it's already going the way it needs to. It's everything's falling into place, and I'm super happy. I get emotional about it all the time, but I also enjoy the laughter I have.
Yeah.
Me and her, we clown each other all day. That's just, it happens to be the most funnest thing of the relationship, is we can roast each other all day, every day, not get mad about it. We can, people have often asked us, how are you guys so funny with each other? And it was we don't know. I think, and she was born in Mexico.
Yeah.
So it's how did God put this together?
Yeah.
I would have never been in the same room with her. And then just miraculously things just happened. And she was actually there when my brother died.
Wow.
We that's actually how we started dating. I had told Jacob about her. I kept talking about her every studio session. I was like, man, this girl, you know. And he was like, well, just do something. He's like, go and do it, you know. And I was always afraid. I was like, nah, man, like I'm not in a good place. It's just not a good time. And I got the call 3 a.m, and I was working at the time, and she worked at the same warehouse with me. And I got the call, and I went to my boss's office. I was like, I gotta go home. I was like, you know, my brother just died. I don't know what's going on right now. He didn't ask no questions. He was like, go. And I went the back way around the warehouse so nobody could see me because I was already teared up. And she was right there at the back door. And she just embraced me with this hug that I've never felt from anybody. And she was like, I'm here. And I've never had anybody there for me like that. And it meant a lot. And so the support we give is through the pain that we've been through with each other, and not a whole lot of arguments. I mean, we have our couple debacles, you know, do the dishes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
no, you do the dishes.
Yeah, you know.
But I do feel like that I'm in love and I'm in a good place too, and I think that I know that it's a good thing when a man finds a woman, when a woman finds a man. And what I do want people to know is like it's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
That hard. Like, you know, it's not like, I don't feel like there's anything wrong with people going through their ups and downs and kind of fighting to stay together and getting through that. But I also don't like champion toxic relationships and things that bring you down and dim your light and like hold you back from what your purpose is. Like,
But unfortunately, the only unfortunate part is that God wants that. You got to get cheated on.
Oh, you got to.
You and it sucks, and I know nobody wants to get cheated on or anything like that, and sometimes it happens. Sometimes it happens you don't ever have to go through heartbreak before you can find the love, but you got to go through some of that pain first to recognize the red flags and see what it is that is and isn't working, and then one day, when you least expect it, you can't be searching for it, you just find it, and it just happens, and it just goes, and you know what, everything's gonna be sunshine. At this point in life, it's not a big deal if this album doesn't pop. It's not a big deal if I make it. It's not a big deal if I end up with millions or thousands, or I could be broke for the rest of my life. I'm happy right now.
I love that.
And being a guy that hasn't been happy his whole life, I'm talking 26 years, you know, and now these last 3 years of happiness just lets me know, like, it's good. I'm good with it. Take everything.
Yeah, as long as I got this.
As long as I got that.
I love that. I'm with you there. And that's a good place to end it, man. Y'all 101 in the building. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
You're probably one of my favorite interviews. I ain't gonna lie. You came in here and I'm like, okay, we cousins now.
You're a good host, and I hope this this relationship furthers itself in the future. We got plenty of opportunities out here. You know, let's capitalize on everything.
I'm sure it will.
Right.
Well, y'all know what it is. It's your girl J.NICHELLE. This is Flavor Friday. Until next time, we out.